Okay. I will just wait and see if it shows up there. And it does. Okay, good. Oh boy, that face. Oh boy, a face. Oh, well, not that face. Yeah. uh, Welcome all 19 of you. Yay, I passed 20,000 subscribers. But it happened Sunday at like 3 in the morning or something. So I wasn't going to do a live stream then. Also, I was out of town, so that's even less, doable. Hi, honey. Yeah, she's in here. Obviously, still doing this in a house with other people in it. So, whatever. Few updates for you. I have done a few more little bits of recording for like the ice collection thing. It's growing, happily. I'm using my new webcam because all the other cameras that I have aren't compatible with webcam use. Like my nice Canon cameras can't use them. Stupid. So I got a Logitech C9 or C920. And then also you might notice that I'm very well lit here. I have a big softbox here, and that's lighting me up nicely. Although sadly my chat is not refreshing, so I can't tell if you are saying anything, which is extremely irritating. Let me refresh this page. You won't go away, but I'll refresh. Let's see, anything else important? Thought I'd grab some water off the back porch, but it turned into ice when I brought it inside. So I'm not parched in the video. And I've been harvesting clips and videos from my wind turbine to put together the next video in that series. So that should be coming out sometime soon, I hope. Move you a little bit closer to the middle of the light so you're more on axis with the computer here. And hello, Dubes402. You were in the last stream. Do you ever get off the internet? And you're the last comment I see. Are people commenting? I'm not seeing anything. Usually I would see like a bunch of comments going on here. And I don't even know if I can use my phone. Oh, okay, there are live comments. I'll go get another one and show you what happens. It's fun. All right. So I got two videos, or not two videos. I got two bottles here. One, they were sitting outside right next to each other. You might have seen this before, but this one is rock solid. Well, there's some liquid in it, but it's, solid ice. And then this one is one that was sitting beside it, and you can kind of see I just disturbed it and it's forming ice. So now that's a slush. Oh well, what kind of videos do I watch on YouTube? Well, I was just watching Marques Brownlee on First We Feast. and that's where they eat hot wings while doing an interview, and that's kind of cool. I like wings, maybe not hot. I like medium wings, and barbecue wings and other types of sort of hot but flavorful wings. Other videos I watch on YouTube, I like heavy equipment videos, excavators. Andrew Camarada on YouTube, I watch him a lot. Every video he puts out, like he just put out a video this morning on 2 excavator mounted breakers, which are jackhammers mounted to machines. Wrangler Star, I watch a lot of him. Red Poppy Ranch, although sometimes I don't align with the views of these people, their content is still interesting. Chucky 2009 is really interesting. This Old Tony, AVE, all those ones, A-Bomb 79. I watch a lot of them. And what else? A lot of woodworking. Matt, I forget his last name. Matt Camarada? No, that's wrong. He built a sawmill in his backyard. I like watching his videos. They're pretty cool. Yeah, so it's 20 degrees out, so that's why these are frozen. Why I'm also building up that ice collection. Is that a peninsula or an island? It's an island. It's what is it? 42 inches deep by 72 inches. No, by 84 inches long. It's kind of covered with stuff, but you can see it there. We try to keep a clean house, but it's really, really difficult to do with a kid. So, sorry. Stony Ridge Farms. Not familiar with them. Hello from Chile, South America. Nice. Some of the content I like watching or reading, whatever, is ADV Rider, Adventure Riders, and it's the most interesting ones are the long hauls going from like Barrow, Alaska down to the bottom of South America, which obviously involves Chile. And the parts in Chile are always extremely interesting because there's like 1,000 miles of nothing, and that's somewhat fascinating to me. In the deep south is Key West deep south? I mean, I've been over most of the south, not Texas, sadly, but the rest of the states I've done. Ever watch Big Freight Train hop through Canada? No, I don't know what that is. Although this morning I was watching a video, supposedly live, of a camera mounted to the front of a train driving through Switzerland. And I know it wasn't live because they were driving through tunnels. And I don't know how they would get internet through tunnels like that. So obviously it was a recorded stream and they're just playing it back. There's another channel that does that, Spark. They always have live streams playing of their produced content. I don't really understand why they do that. Maybe they think they get more money doing a live stream because people just put it on and let it run. I can believe that. Hey, from Australia. Which part of Australia? I've never been there. I'd like to go. There's Hello Internet is a blog I listen to, or a podcast, and one of the guys is from Adelaide, and they're always talking about Adelaide stuff, so I'm most familiar with that. Southwestern PA. Well, I'm in Northwest PA. Week, snow days. The weather here is bipolar. One day freezing rain and a half week before. You know, they say that weather changes in the blink of an eye, but it kind of does that everywhere. At least people will say that about their specific location, but it does it everywhere. That's just the way weather is. Unless you're in like Bermuda, then it's rainy and between 70 and 80 every day. Reading some of your comments here. It's possible they have signal repeaters, but I think I saw the exact same video like a month ago when I was just browsing through YouTube. It was a recommended video, so I don't think it's an actual live stream. It's just a repeat. Is it cold here? It's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Actually, I can look right now. I have my weather station running, and it's one of the ones you can get from AccuRite. Right now it's 17.2 degrees. Let's see if you can see that. And my live stream takes a little bit of time to update. Yeah, okay, you see that. And it says it's snowing. I don't know if it is actually snowing. It's kind of dark out. And the cool thing about this weather station is, like, I have temperature, and then wind speed and wind direction and barometer, which are really like the 4 metrics that you need to see what the weather is doing in your area. Let's see, the peak gust today was 15 miles an hour, and the average looks to be around 5 or 6. Oh, you guys are busy on the chat. So my last stream I had like 7 or 8 people, and there's 22 of you now, so that's like excellent. Jay, who is another guy watching YouTube, he does like Powerwall stuff, electric cars. That's kind of most of what he does. And he just did a live stream Monday. He does one every Monday, and he had like 150, 250 people. So I guess in comparison, this is a good number of viewers. Although I could have had a better like scheduled it better. This is like my second time live streaming, so it's not great. And when I first started, I had to kill the stream, switch to 720p, and restart it, because apparently my computer can't handle encoding 1080p video for YouTube on the fly, which I totally understand, because it's a laptop that's fanless and has a mobile processor, so it's very weak. But I've been making do with it. I think it's time to upgrade. So what you guys are saying now? Watching from State College, PA. That's where my brother is right now. He works at the hospital. Oh, my brother's watching the stream. I see you now, Nathan. Also, now I know your username on YouTube. I don't know if you have any videos. Discord server. No. I'm not even really sure what that is. I think it's gaming. Oh, I'll look it up later. Would that also be like Twitch? I'm not sure. Also, I did go to Penn State. I'm a Penn State graduate. I have a bachelor's in mechanical engineering. I also have a minor in operations and supply chain management, which is, if you know anything about like manufacturing, you could just replace that fancy name with lean manufacturing, because that's basically all it is. Learning how to do stuff most efficiently. There was other business stuff too, to get a minor in business. And I had to do that because I was behind in my other classes and my engineering classes. So I thought I would take up that free time while I finished up a few classes and get a minor. It did take me 6 years to go through college for a 4-year degree, but I got a minor too. And it's not an easy degree, you know, mechanical engineering. It is what it is. Or is it? How strong is the wind at the very top of the hill by the spring? It's hard to say. because there's a lot of trees right in front of it, but it's probably pretty good. If you go a little bit higher up in the power line cut, it's probably even more windy there. There was a house on top of the hill that's behind me that I wanted to buy when we were first looking for a house back in, what was that, 2005 or 2015? No, 2014 is when we bought our first house around here. And there was another house up on top of the hill with 360-degree views, and I really wanted to buy that and put wind turbines up there. But the house it needed a lot of work, and we needed something that was kind of move-in ready, so it wasn't a good fit for us. And that's how we got the water wheel house. Young professional, I'd say. Oh, my brother's talking. Do I know John Malkovich? No. But I worked at GE in Erie as a mechanical engineer for a little bit. And there was a John Malkovich there. And everybody asked me if I knew him. But I didn't. There aren't a whole lot of Maloviches. I've only ever seen one naturally. And not even really see him. He's just a commenter on a Facebook page that I belong to. Good thing I brought that water in. And because it's slushy, it stays cold for a long time. Let's see, have I missed anything in the comments? Because I'm up to date as far as I can tell. Oh, and everybody say happy birthday to my brother Nathan. He turns, what's he turned, 31? 30? I think he turns 31 on the 2nd of March. And so around this, about this 20,000 subscriber stream, I had intended to do it like Monday, hopefully Monday in the evening. Now it's Tuesday. But for whatever reason, my viewership went way up over the weekend, and I was not way up, but like 50% more. And I was just getting subscribers very quickly. Let's see if I can show this for you. Yeah, there you go. See that last peak? Oh, that's why it happened Sunday in the middle of the morning instead of Monday afternoon. But whatever. Anybody have anything for me to answer? What else can I talk about? I guess I could talk about my wind turbine. So you'll find this out shortly in the video, but it didn't make any volts because it was not going fast enough for that motor. So I'm mounting it to a hoverboard motor. But a hoverboard motor, it has, well, we'll use this bottle cap as an example. It has like a lip on the very bottom, and I'm trying to make something that clamps to that lip, sort of like as a bead lock, and then that's how I would mount the blades, so the blades would stick off of the lip instead of being mounted like to the face of it. And I've been looking for some, I wonder if my live stream is not updating. I'll restart or refresh it. I've been looking for some way of making those rings, because I need 3 rings that are about 9 inches in diameter. And I haven't found a cheap way. I'd like to do it under $50, but most of the methods that I find are $100 to $200. The only way I could do it under 50 is if I do it myself, but I don't have any suitable machines for that. They're too small or not very accurate. I guess I could try machining it by hand, by router, with like a router jig, and make those parts myself out of aluminum, or maybe even some sort of plastic that's weather tolerant. Yeah, see, I see there's comments, but it wasn't refreshing. Rumbler Tag, are you thinking about making a garden or plant some fruit trees? I do have garden boxes. I have 4 of them. They're 4 foot square by 4 foot square. So that's 64 square feet of square foot garden space. And I mostly plant tomatoes and beans and strawberries. Right now, one of those squares is dedicated to strawberries, which didn't produce any fruit last year, but hopefully this year they're going to produce fruit. Because I just planted like one little one, and then it spread over the whole 4x4 box over the summer. So it spent a lot of its energy growing out instead of growing fruit. Are you going to have a water wheel on the creek? I want to, but I don't have time to. Like right now I have to prioritize everything that I do because I don't have a whole lot of free time given the kid and the business and finishing this house. It always feels more important to do those things than to do a water wheel for you guys. Sorry. Nature Kings 1875. Hello. Hello to you too. I do have the water wheel sitting downstairs. It'd be pretty easy for me to get some maybe 4-inch or 6-inch pipe and collect it right out of that culvert that I have in that stream now. And I'd probably have enough head height to run it over the water wheel, but it's like barely as much flow as I had when I installed it at my last place. I was making 5 watts. So I don't know if it's really worth it to do 5 watts if you ignore the views aspect of it. If I do it for the views, then I'm going to probably make not insignificant amount of money from YouTube revenue. And I know you guys would like it. But I don't know if it's in line with what I need to do. Just looking at my live stream. Pretty good light quality. Although I think it's straight on, and it might be better if it was off to the side. No? I don't know. Yeah, so there's at least a 5-second delay in what gets recorded and what I see on the computer. Although I might be able to just switch to... Yeah, so I'm using OBS to stream this, and that's how I was able to quickly switch to the lobby and back to me. And it only has like a 1-second delay. And I'm sure if I had a faster computer, it would have far less delay. As for my garage downstairs, there's a lot of aspects that I could talk for hours about that. One thing I really struggle with continuously is space. It's only 960 square feet, same as my house. It's the same literal footprint. But I have too much stuff in there. And it's all stuff that I need to keep. It's tractor, table saw, water wheel, wood, Christmas decorations, tools. So I just need more space. There's a few things that I can sell. What could I sell that you might be interested in learning about? I have an old 10-inch bandsaw that has no motor, and I've been trying to sell that for like $40 locally, and nobody wants it. It's an old Delta Homecraft. And I guess to go along with it, I have a 4-inch joiner, like woodworking joiner, and it's just a junky little thing. Trying to sell that too. I have a record cabinet. I think I'm going to try to sell that. Just taking up a lot of space. And there's not much else taking up a whole lot of space that I could sell. So that's one aspect. The other aspect, I covered a lot of this on my last live stream, I seem to remember. Uh, so I'm doing, I'm going to frame in all my walls. Why do I keep doing my hands like this? I'm going to frame in all my walls with 2x3s, probably 16-inch on center, and cover them with probably a 3/8 board or a T111 board. And I'm going to cover the ceiling with fire rated plywood. There's my hand again. And that'll be for fire rating for code. I don't think I technically need it from a wood shop downstairs, but it's a good idea. I do technically need it from the other part of the garage that has a garage door, which is where I park my tractor. So that's a good idea. And for lights, I'm going to do 7 banks of fluorescent fixtures. And I'm going to use the 4-foot T8s, but direct drive for LED. So I'm going to put LED tubes in them. And I think that'll work out great because ultimately it's cheaper than getting the pre-made LED 4-foot fixtures, and you can replace the bulbs in the future. So it's almost like future proofing. And I found bulbs at Lowe's. They're GE brand, and they're LED for $4 a piece. So that's a really good deal. So I can outfit it for literally far less than the cost of LED 4-foot fixtures. And I'd like to do that as sort of a woodworking shop, sort of a YouTube studio a little bit. I think right now I might even prioritize building and finishing a wall so that I have something behind me to record in front of. So I'll have a nice place that looks better than just a junky garage full of too many things. I think once I get rid of most of the wood, that'll free up a lot of space because I have a lot of wood sitting down there that I have to use for trim in this house. And about solar power, yes, I definitely want to do solar power here. And it would, because our business is on the same property, it'd probably have to be 2 separate solar systems, and pretty big ones at that, because we are in northern Pennsylvania. So we don't get a whole lot of sun compared to other places. So they'd still have to be pretty big systems. What did I think I've come up with for the business, I'd need a 20 kW system, and for the house, like 4 or 5 kW would put the property as a whole at net zero. But really, to help in the business, I think I need to, because half of it is natural gas heated, and the other half is electric resistance heated. So I want to switch out the electric resistance with a mini split, and that'll also offer cooling. So that's maybe a project that we're going to do this summer. My wife's kind of on board with it too, along with other renovations that I need to do down there. Did I watch the Oscars on Sunday? No, and I don't really care about that, the Oscars in particular, or Grammys, or any of those. And there's been a lot of negative comments about them on the internet. I go on Reddit a lot, and it's just not appealing to me. So I didn't watch it. Sorry. Would you do a battery bank, and how would you go about doing that? Well, there's a commenter in here, Nathan, and he and I are working on scavenging batteries for an actual battery wall, a power wall sort of thing. So that'll be fun, but it'll probably be a long ways down the road. Will I have them in an enclosed building? Yes. And the primary reason for that is sound, because it'll be right outside my bedroom window. And we like to sleep with the windows open pretty much all summer. So I'll have to make it pretty much as soundproof as I can, which might be difficult or might be really easy. But I plan on bringing the pipe down the hill, and I'll have sunken in the ground a power, we'll call it a power pit, and the drain from that will go out to the stream. And I'm going to have a lid on it. So really, the only place that it's going to leak sound would be the seam around the lid. The rest of it could be like half buried almost. And that'll probably be suitably sound absorbent. I've heard about Factorio, and I'd like to try it out, but my computer's not capable of playing any sort of game whatsoever. Well, I'm not saying that. It'll play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 really well until the part gets too big. And about setting up a power wall, I probably would do something like what Jehu's doing with his PCBs. With he uses a 7S system, so that'll be a 12-volt system, which would be suitable to run a pretty good inverter. Normally, if you have a really powerful inverter like 10,000 watts, you're looking at like a 48-volt system or higher voltages than that. But a 12-volt system, you're probably okay for 2,000, 3,000 watts without going up to ridiculous cable sizes. And from that, I would try to power things in my shop with excess power, probably going to like a Bitcoin mining rig, because that's one way to make money from power without having to feed it back into the grid. And I'd use the power also for heating and cooling downstairs, and lights would probably be primary uses for it. And I'd be able to switch back to grid power as needed, so it wouldn't be a huge issue if I ran out of power. Yeah, and thumbs up, Nathan. Well, I told my wife that I would do a half-hour stream, and we're now at 37 minutes. So I'm going to be ending it soon here. And about a surge tank, no. I think I would be doing like what I have in the stream now, and probably just with a vent at the top, so that like out of the tank I'm gonna have a valve to shut it off, but then after the valve I would have to have like a vent tube, so that if I shut it off, then the air that's in the line can, or the water that's in the line can drain and suck through that. So it's not really needing a surge tank. Also, I'm not sure what you're talking about with a surge tank, unless you're talking about something where it's sort of just a large collection tank that I could use for drawing water for the house or something. And that's not what I intend to use this water for. So I don't think, excuse me, I don't think that would be really necessary. And after this, I will try out Factorio. So, yeah. And so I guess I'm going to sign off now. As a fun chat, and maybe in a week or a month we'll try doing this again, and hopefully by that time I might have a little better computer to work on, and then I can stream this in 1080p instead of, as it is now, 720p. So thank you. Thanks to all my subscribers, all 20,100 of you right now. It's going up pretty quickly. I'm excited about that, and without you guys this wouldn't be possible. The money I make from this really helps out with just daily expenses even, and recording gear like the camera and the light and soon in the future my computer and hydro power stuff and garage stuff and stuff that I wouldn't be able to do because I don't have like a formal job right now. So this is like what I can allocate to all of this sort of stuff without dipping into house funds, which would make my wife kind of pissed off probably. Okay, signing off. It was fun.